Welcome to episode 1 of a hopefully long-term series of Vault Hunters Sky Vaults. Starting off, I immediately skip through all of the quests and dive straight into my first raw vault to gather some basic resources to get me started. Vault Hunters is an RPG style mod pack brought into Minecraft to allow the player to run vaults, to level up, gain abilities, talents, and unlock a range of mods to help progress and get much stronger. In Sky Vaults there are two types of vaults that we can run. Firstly is these raw vaults, which will only provide basic resources and takes place as the overworld inside a vault. The other type of vault is the actual vault, the whole mod itself, where we can run, gain special vault loot, as well as some decorative items, as well as level up correctly and have the progression actually take place. Inside a raw vault there are three main chests. First, there's a silver hardened chest, which can get you things like saplings and basic sticks, stuff like that. Then there is a flesh chest, which has, I believe, a 1 in 20 chance of spawning, and that will contain your passive mob and hostile mob drops, like food, blaze rods, ender pearls, those types of things. And finally, we have the super rare enigma chest, which has a 1 in 200 chance, and it's this purple looking chest that is extremely good. It has tons of valuable things that can help you. There is also these pockets of vanilla ores that you can get to help get some iron, diamonds, just get some basic resources to set up the initial crafting stages so you can progress into running proper vaults. And as you can see, after I finished the raw vault, I got a little stats screen. This would be much more detailed in a regular vault because most of these things I can actually gain in a regular vault, but in a raw vault I can only get XP for killing mobs and things inside the vaults, because the raw vault is not designed to help you progress, it's designed to help you get a start so you can start running regular vaults and actually then progress through the mod pack. The quest I'm trying to complete is to craft a vault altar, which is the way we craft and make crystals so we can run the actual vaults. Now, as you see, I can place a blank crystal onto this vault altar, and it gives me 4 things that I need to collect and hand over to the altar as a sort of sacrifice and to build the crystal. And after this I can then run a proper vault. The next thing the quests want me to craft is a better enchantment table. It's a vault enchanter. This allows me to basically put any item that can be enchanted in the slot and sacrifice 5 emeralds and some XP to get whatever enchantment I want that can be applied. This saves tons of time because instead of re-rolling hundreds of pieces of gear on an enchantment table using a disenchanter, or spending thousands of hours re-rolling the same villager hoping I get the trade I want. After that, the quest want me to craft a vial, which is essentially just a health potion, or this mod's version of a health potion, and it restores a small amount of health at the sacrifice of a charge. However, I don't have anything for it because I've only run one raw vault, so we're going to scrap that idea, and instead we're going to prepare and go into our first actual vault to test our skill. For our first actual vault, we got a different theme than I was honestly expecting. I was kind of expecting a regular cave theme, which is just a basic one, and it's pretty easy if I'm being honest. But instead we got the mushroom theme, which is both really good and really bad. It's really good because we needed a mushroom, specifically a red mushroom, to craft the vial, and especially the one I want, which is the Sorcerer's Vial. However, it's really bad because this theme has slimes, and slimes, when they die, they release a poison cloud on death, which is really annoying. In a regular vault, there is quite a lot that is different compared to a raw vault. For example, the chests. There's a wooden chest, living chest, ornate chest, and gilded chest. The wooden chest gives you basic crafting resources that can help you progress all throughout the game. Living gives you XP based that allows you to progress using just mainly XP. Ornate can give you things like gear and resources to help you craft gear, and gilded gives you stuff that help you progress your tools because you can upgrade your tools. There's also coin piles, which can give you vault bronze, silver, and gold, which is kind of the in-game currency. There is also loads of vault ores that you can only get in the vault, and they're also used for crafting as well as a few other things. Inside a regular vault, there is also an objective at the top of the screen that is entirely optional, but will give you a bonus reward at the end of the vault if you survive as well as complete the objective. In the beginning, they're slightly easy with just light the monoliths, which there are located in almost every room that you go in. You have to go up and light it, and once you have all three, or however many there are, you can then exit the vault and claim your reward. as you can see, I'm trying to be as greedy as possible. Even after my sword break and now my pickaxe is broken, I'm still trying to grab as much loot as possible, because I know in the long run, where I have more difficult vaults and I'm not able to loot as much, that this will be well worth it. Thankfully, my greed pays off. 10,000 experience for one regular vault, compared to the raw vault, where I only got XP from killing mobs, and I only got 1000 XP. In this, everything counted. Every single piece of ore I mined, every chest I looted, every mob I killed, every coin pile I mined, I gained XP for it, and that has set me hugely forward in terms of progression, because I gained 3 whole levels from one vault by being as greedy as possible. So not only have I gained tons of resources and loot, I've also gained 3 levels, so I can then gain some more abilities and skills to help me then run more effective vaults to loot even more. Here I'm just trying to de-loot as fast as possible, so I can stay somewhat organized, but also so I can empty all of my shulker boxes, see if I can make any quests, and especially run into another vault. That is the main key here. I have to keep running vaults to keep gaining resources so I can progress further. If I don't, I'm going to get stuck, and nobody wants that. After I de-loot, I decided to take a little lunch break, and when I came back I had an idea that I wanted to decorate and at least start on a foundational base design so I can have a more effective living space, plus it looks pretty, and who doesn't like a nicely designed base? However, after I decided to tear everything down, I realized not only do I have no decorating resources to actually start on the foundational idea that I wanted, but I also had no glass or sand to progress in the vial quest that I started a while ago. So I decided to run another raw vault to try and get some sand. As you just saw, I took a level in heal, which is using mana to heal a small amount of health, as you don't naturally regenerate inside of any vault. I took a level in dash to allow me move quicker around the vault and loot more effectively, as also, if I get into a tight spot, I can dash away and create a safe breathing room. I also took a level in strength, because having strength when I only have stone and iron sword is extremely useful, because I don't have the resources to craft better weapons and armor, so I'd rather kill things in one hit and not get hit. Now as I enter this raw vault, you can see in chat I check some text that popped up, and in the bottom right hand side you can see the symbols for said text. There's beginner's grace, beginner's insurance, and vault XP reduction. Now the vault XP reduction gives me plus or minus 100% of however much XP I gain inside the vault, because it's a raw vault, meaning possibly I could get 400 times % the amount of XP from when killing mobs, but the majority of the time it'll be minus, so I won't get any XP at all from a raw vault, which is what we want, because we don't want to progress through and level up in raw vaults and then be under-leveled and, well, under-geared for regular vaults that are super high level. Beginner's Grace allows me to die inside a raw vault and inside a regular vault and not lose anything that I have on me. It only takes durability damage of the things I used. Beginner's Insurance means that no chests can be trapped, meaning I don't have to worry about a chest exploding or releasing a poison cloud or spawning a bunch of mobs around me when I loot them. After exiting the raw vault, I decide to de-loot as fast as possible. I decide to follow through with some of the quests, as I collected a rosebush needed for red dye so I can craft a pouch, which the little purple shards you've seen me collecting from killing mobs, they can store an infinite amount inside this pouch, so that was really useful. And for the reward I got from that quest, I got a pouch, which is a backpack mod that allows me to essentially have a chest as a backpack, which is extremely useful for looting when inside the vault looting is everything. The faster you loot, the faster you can level up, the faster you can essentially complete the mod pack. Next I craft a bounty table, which allows me to select one of 3 bounties that refresh every few hours, or I can reroll myself. These bounties can give me rewards for completing certain tasks, some of which could be completing a vault, giving the bounty table a certain amount of items, or even killing a certain amount of mobs. But the reward, as well as XP gained, is usually always worth it, hence why it's a really good item. Now something really interesting happens to me now, and that's my mana is stuck at 0, which isn't really a huge problem considering I do have my vials, so I don't need to rely on heal. It's just slightly irritating because I cannot use dash and I can't use heal instantly, so I have to wait until I drink the vial. Now, I still have no idea why this happened. I'm assuming it's because when I was using Farmer earlier to grow the wheat, I think the button got stuck down for the activation of the Farmer ability, in which it's constantly draining my mana. And I only figured this out until after the vault, but I had to run the entire vault with no mana. As you briefly saw, I got another 10,000 XP from that vault, so even without mana I can still consistently run, which was pretty thankful because I was slightly nervous about not having mana. Now, when I level up, you can see in the top right that I have 2 points from leveling up, as well as 1 point called an expertise point that I got from hitting level 5, and I will get 1 every 5 levels as I continue on. Before I get into what expertise points do, as well as what I take, firstly I decide to go through the quests and go on a mad crafting spree, considering 2 raw vaults as well as 2 main vaults has given me a lot of resources, so I can do a huge crafting spree and progress quite far ahead in the quest book, get some pretty impressive workbenches. The first table I craft is a tool station, which allows me to craft custom tools such as pickaxe, axe, shovel, hammer, a sickle, and some various others that allow me to loot more effectively in the overworld as well as inside a vault. They'll be extremely useful. The next thing I decide to craft in the quest book is a jewel applicator, which allows me to take these jewels that I've slowly been collecting and apply them to my pickaxe, axe, or whatever else. Now, what these do, these have a size on them, which take up a certain size in the tool's capacity. Each tool has a different capacity, and when you level up, your better tools get larger and larger capacities. So in the beginning, I probably won't be doing this much, however, it's very useful later on. Next I am told to craft a Vault Forge. Now this allows me to craft all types of weapons and armor specifically made for this mod, which in the beginning, because I'm crafting them myself, they will be really bad, and found ones that I find inside the vault will be much better. However, if I dedicate more resources to the Vault Forge and to leveling up the armor types as well as weapons that I make myself, I can again get better and better stuff, and eventually I should be able to craft things that would be much better than what I could find inside the vault. Now, for the expertise point, I decided to take a point and level inside Fortunate, which gives me a permanent level in Fortune 1. Now, this does stack with if I put Fortune 3 on a pickaxe, so I would then have Fortune 4. Now, if I get to level 10 and get this up again, I would then have Fortune 5, which is really strong. Now, after crafting the Vault Forge, the next thing the quests are telling me to do is craft a artisan table. This allows me to put in my tools and my armor and re-roll the prefixes and suffixes on them. And the more I level up, the more variety of things that I can re-roll will appear, and I could possibly get better or worse. And as you can see, after I finished crafting the artisan table, I decided to pause on the whole quest progression as I could not make anything further. I do not have enough resources, so I'll have to run more vaults. However, I did decide to start planning a foundation, and actually I built it. And as you can see, it's nice and sleek, it's very basic, it's just a small platform to begin with. However, next video we will expand on it more, as well as run tons more vaults and gain a bunch more resources. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you did enjoy, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one.